Hey guys, Todd here, Jacob Gray again. I need to fix a mistake I made the other day on a video. So if you watched the other video that we posted, I made a mistake, and these Recoil Reapers are good for guns that are 4.25 inch to 4.6 inch. I made that mistake. I said they were good out to the 5 inch, and they're not. We realized that they will be too short. So I just want to fix that. This is the new video that I came out with today to fix anything I had said the other day. The bench part of the video is the same. It's the 4.25 being assembled and disassembled, which we'll get to here in just a couple of minutes. But I just want to go over that so that everybody's clear. I made the mistake, my fault, and you know I'm always going to own it if it's my fault. So the new guide rod is a sealed system, drop-in system for anything that's 4.25 inch to 4.6 inch out there in the marketplace. It's what it does is it's going to give you about 20 to 30% less felt recoil in your hand, which is a really cool thing because a lot of times when you get that punch in your hand, you get the muzzle flip, and this is going to help reduce some of that, keep your gun flat. So your follow-up shots will be better, shootability will be better. It's just a more overall comfortable way of shooting. The cool thing about this is it's exclusively through Jacob Gray. So if you want this, it has to come through us. And it's not just a Jacob Gray product. It actually can be used on anything that's in your safe that's on the 1911 or the 2011 platform. So if you have a 1911 Stingle stack that's a commander length 4.25 from 1980, you can drop this in and it'll help give you some less felt recoil. It also will work in higher calibers, your 10 mils and your 45s, as long as it fits the length. We don't recommend anything less than the 425 because this will actually stick out the end of your bull plug and it kind of looks not very good. So what we wanted to do is just come up, make sure you guys are aware. We will be developing the 5-inch one that will fit into it. The only difference that you'll see when you go from 4.25 to 4.6 is the front of the bull plug will actually maybe be recessed into your bull plug. It's really hard to make something that has any kind of flex in it be perfect at the muzzle every single time, but it does work. Even if it's recessed a little bit, it does work. The other thing is we wanted it to be easy. This will work with everything that you have in your gun. If it doesn't, we are also supplying a 9 and a 12-pound spring. So that will allow you to tune the gun to best fit what ammo you're using or how you like to shoot the firearm. Now I'm going to move over to the bench so we can do a field strip assembly, disassembly, so you can see how it goes into the gun. There's a couple of things I got to teach you just to make sure you don't get frustrated, but we're super excited about the Recoil Reaper 2026, big year. This is going to change the industry. We've got a lot of guys already using it, and they are very happy with the results. So stay tuned. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Okay guys, now I'm back over here at my bench, and what I'm going to do is an assembly and disassembly of a 4.25 inch firearm with the Recoil Reaper. So on the Recoil Reaper that you received, it's going to look a little bit different than this. It's going to have a wider cutout here. This is an early production model, but we ended up cutting this a little wider so that you can get it up and over your link a little easier whenever we're doing installation and disassembly. So that's the guide rod. So when you get your package, you're going to have a 4.25 to 4.6 inch guide rod. It's the same guide rod. It's just going to sit a little bit different. It's going to be recessed inside your bull plug depending on how long your gun is. You're going to get a 9-pound and a 12-pound spring. And then we're going to supply you with this little acrylic tube. And it is 1/2 inch OD and 3/8 ID. And this is going to help with getting the bull plug out of the way to get the Recoil Reaper out of your gun. So this here is a cutaway gun. So this is kind of a way to show you how it actuates inside the firearm. So this is a cutaway gun. This gun here is showing how when it gets back to full compression, the hydraulics take over, and you can kind of see. And what that does is this last little bit of the compression, it takes 20 to 30% less felt recoil out of the firearm when you have that hit into your hand. So it makes it nice for shooting. It also helps with muzzle flips. You don't have as much muzzle flips, so follow-up shots are a little cleaner. So that's just a cutaway gun. So we're going to look and check this gun. We're going to make sure it looks good inside there, no bullets, so we are clean. We're going to take our non-marring tool, and it can be anything. This is just what I prefer to use. And I'm going to take that, and I'm going to push and get my slide stop out of the way. There is a little bit of drag because the guide rod's going to be wanting to push down, so you just got to kind of get your gun pulled off, and you can see put him off to the side, and this is what it looks like. So that's a hydraulic buffer inside the firearm. Now what we want to do is we want to keep pressure here, And the reason for that is this is wanting to kick out and it's under tension right now. A little bit more tension than normal just because of this extra part here that's not letting the spring extend like it would if it was in a toolless guide rod. So we're going to put our thumb on there most of the time, and then we're going to grab our acrylic. And the cool thing about this is it's going to fit exactly where we need it to fit on the barrel bushing, so that it gets pushed through. So I'm going to take the flat spot, go right over it. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to slowly let it kind of come up and out of the gun, and be careful because it can fall and get pushed out of the way. So there you go. This was nice and helpful to go through that hole, and we're done using that now, so we don't need to use that no more. But now what you see is I have a hydraulic buffer inside the spring, also then inside the bushing. So that is completely disassembled, and you can see no different. We just field strip the same way, pull our barrel out of the way. So that's how that works. So that is a completely removed Recoil Reaper with the tools we have supplied for you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back together. And generally we take the gun apart, we field strip it, we clean it, we get it all oiled up. But for time constraints, I'm actually going to just kind of go right back at it and put this back together. So I want to make sure my barrel is in lockup so it's pressed back. And I definitely need my link to be facing this direction so that it can slide down over. The 4.25-inch guns, they are tight. So when you got to get this in and down and over into that barrel bushing area, you're going to, you got to really give it a press. So we're going to take our bushing, saddle down, and we're going to put that on the barrel. And one thing you got to remember is there's a little ledge inside here. So if I just start trying to push that, it's not going to let me. I need to take this and I need to lift up on the inside of that bushing, and then it'll allow it to slide right into place, no problem, with no pressure. You can fight that if you don't pay attention to that little ledge that's inside there and get it up and over. So then I'll take my guide rod and put my spring on it, just like that. I'm going to lay it in at an angle. I just push my link, so I need to pull my link back. And then what I do is I try to get a pressure on the front of the barrel with my middle finger, and then I compress the hydraulics with my thumb, and you can see pressing it right down and over, and there you go. She went right back into place, nice and easy. And like I say, it'll be even easier with that wider saddle that you guys are receiving. But you notice this is sitting a little bit recessed, and that's because we have tension. This is a 12-pound spring, so it's going to be a little bit more tension from the beginning, so it's going to recess a little bit. Doesn't affect the shootability, no problems there. So then whenever you're assembling, you always got to keep your thumb on this. So I'm going to grab my frame again, and you got to keep your thumb nice and tight to keep it from hitting the front of your frame. So doing this through the camera, last little bit. So the last little bit, I always give it one last little press, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to get my hole lined up nice and clean. There you go. And I have it totally, completely good. I'm going to take my slide stop, and then that half moon shape, you see that has to match the top of the slide stop, and we're going to push up at an angle, push it in, and there you go. That is a fully disassembled and reassembled hydraulic guide rod, the Recoil Reaper. And like I said, that's in there. So that's how you do it. If you guys have any questions or you run into anything, 4.25-inch to 4.6-inch guns, this should just drop in. You can use your current spring setup that you're used to using. I would recommend starting there, and if you have to tune your gun with the 9 or 12-pound that we supply, then you could move to that. But I would recommend going with what you're most comfortable with, and then from there we can actually tune it to what's the most effective for the rounds you're using or the guns that you're shooting, to make sure that's comfortable. But this does work in single stacks and double stacks. As long as it fits the length, you're good to go. And man, this is a really cool product. We've actually almost already sold out our first month's allocation. So get online, buy it from a local dealer, or go online for our website. And we're making them as fast as we can, and hope you enjoy your shooting. So thanks for your business, and we'll talk to you soon.